Hello, Genevieve. Namons here, and I don't know if you know, but we have to finally talk about Gina Carano because I've been holding back. I haven't wanted to talk about this. That's what people say, right? That's how they start their videos. I didn't want to make this video, but here we are. You know, we got Gina Carano, and it's all been documented. It's all over the internet. She's been someone that is a conservative. She may not be Republican. She may not be specifically political, but she has a very conservative leanings to her humor, to her general way of life, so to speak. So she posts what she wants on Twitter, and that's fine. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to post what you want on Twitter until you're blue in the face. But if your company, if your boss comes along and says, "Yeah, we don't like what you're doing here," it's reflecting badly on the company. You know, whether you feel that is out of line, whether you feel that is overstepping bounds, or whether you feel they were saying that only because they espouse or present a specific um, method to their madness, so to speak, as far as how they run their business, that's ultimately besides the point. And this is not going to be a popular opinion, but yeah, I feel she deserved to be fired, and I don't think she cares either way, either. But otherwise, she would have at least, made an effort to like just keep to herself, you know. But when someone comes to you and says like this whole thing, this article, Gina Carano and crowdsourced McCarthyism, they're calling it like this whole like whatever. Like if I was to do stuff like this for my job, if I was to act in a way that was not appropriate for my job or that reflected badly on my employer, I would get pulled into an office. I've had it happen. I've created YouTube videos that have gotten me pulled into offices with my manager and the manager's manager to talk about why I have this on the internet and why I can't and how fast can I take it down. And that's fine. They're allowed because especially when even if there's no names being said, there's things like my video, no names are mentioned, but because they knew me, because they knew who I had issues with at work, they basically knew who I was talking about and they came to me and said, you have to take it down. So a company's allowed to do this. And they're allowed to be, however big and small about it, wrong or right about it as they want. But that's how they run their business. And if you're going to reflect badly in how they run their business, they're going to tell you to stop. They're going to tell you that you need to calm down. And her idea of doing that was to not do that at all. She basically got told, you're going to do this and you're going to give a specific, we'll get to this here, because this whole thing came out and she didn't even know that was representative of this whole very anti-Semitic, whatever, things like that. But then she talks about here it all falls back to the bio thing where she was her Twitter bio where people were like threatening her saying you have to be an ally to the trans community and put your pronouns in your bio. And she didn't want to do that. And she's allowed to do that. And she can make jokes about it and that's fine, but when she makes jokes about it, that reflects badly on her employer. And that's the bottom line. Whether they're being overly leftist about it or whatever, that's their prerogative. And she even talks about how let's read it here. Early on last year, before The Mandalorian came out, they wanted me to use their exact wording for an apology over pronoun usage. I declined and offered a statement in my own words. I made it clear I wanted nothing to do with the mocking of transgender community. I was just drawing attention to the abuse of the mob and forcing people to put pronouns in bios. And she's perfectly within her rights to do that. But if, as they said, Lucasfilm doesn't feel that's an appropriate response, they're going to tell her to stop. And they basically told her that if you're not willing to do this, we're going to have to exclude you from press and promotion for the show because it's going to look bad with us promoting the show and having you there when you're making jokes about a legitimate issue for them, So it's not even a fact that like I said, I'm gonna beat this until someone understands, because no one on the right seems to bloody understand that this is their choice. If this company makes their choice to do this, and the employee makes that choice not to pay attention to those requirements, to those feelings and sentiments from their employer, then that's what they get what they deserve. And I'm not saying that because I dislike Gina. I enjoy Gina. She's not a great actress. I enjoyed seeing her in The Mandalorian. She was not blowing me away with her performance, but she was there and she was great. And she's a great person. I've seen the interviews with Drunk 3PO. I've been watching her talk about the whole thing online after the fact, talking about how it was just she's just basically seeing something she likes and reposting it, not really thinking about if it's going to be good or bad. She just enjoys the symbolism of it and whatever, and she's allowed to do that. That's fine. I'm sick and tired of hearing about the fact that she's being targeted, that zealots within the company are attacking her. She very much knows how things lean in this company. And if she can't restrain herself, she wants to keep that job, she has to behave. Not in like a obedience sense, but no, there has to be compromise. She tried to compromise, they weren't willing to listen, so she's just doing what she wants. And that got her fired. That's fine. That's fine. Phone, shut up. I just had to get this out because it's been driving me crazy for a month. A literal month. All these people coming out and doing this and getting all upset about how she's treated when she knew what she was getting into. She absolutely knew what she was getting into. She understood the job. She understood what was going on. She didn't essentially didn't get any kind of warning about what the kind of response would be. And I believe this is because she was contracted. Her contract with the Mandalorian ended at the end of season 2. If they wanted to hire her back, they had to negotiate a contract. And they came out and very brashly talked about how her behavior was abhorrent, which I think is out of line for a corporate company to say that, something like that. Don't get me wrong, I understand that is a bad way to break that news. That is a bad way to categorize her behavior when it's not true. She's just been told through social media that, yeah, we're not going to negotiate a new contract with you. I doubt that anything was currently in the works. There was Mando season 3 isn't even starting shooting until after the book of Boba Fett's done, which I don't know when that's going to be. So nothing's happening on that front yet. There's obviously writing going on with that, but nothing about who's coming back, who's staying, who's going to be hired back, anything like that. Everything like that is in flux. And yeah, I mean, it's a bad way to find out, for sure. But I am sick to death, and I'm going to say this until you understand. I'm sick to death of people using this as a platform to say that people can't speak their minds, that people are being oppressed, that there's McCarthyism type behavior going on within this world. If Hollywood wants to be extreme left and cater to the extreme left, they can do that. I think this even maybe it's not in this one, but I did read that there was somebody from where Carano used to work, her agency, people were just basically in words, like people were giving their names and saying, yeah, people that work for us have been justifiably scared about how they would be treated if they represented themselves, if they took their personal beliefs and brought them to their job. And so they've had to appear to lean left or appear to be centrist in order to keep a job, in order to make themselves look desirable for employment. And that's not a good place to be in. That should never be how it is. But that's how Hollywood chooses to conduct its business. And that's what they're going to do, and it's going to run them into the ground. Shut up, computer. And that's all you can do about it. You have to either go with the flow or create your own platform, which is what a lot of people are having to do now because of what's happening with Gina. Is kind of sparked this rebellion, as she calls it, where people are now going to have to, if they want to create content, be an artist or be an actress, to be a pretender, they have to create their own ways to create that content, create that what's his face hates the word content though. So that's what they have to do. But you don't get to act like you didn't know this was coming. You don't get to act like you should be able to carry on with your personal beliefs in an environment where they're not welcome and not have consequences. You don't get to do that. This is straight up a rant. I'm just done with hearing about this. I'm in such a I feel like I'm in a bubble right now because all I see is video after video after video on YouTube about how Gina was done dirty, how Gina didn't see it coming, how Gina was treated so poorly. It's just frustrating. But that's all I really got to say about it for now. This wasn't going to be a long video. It was just basically me wanting to basically get this off my chest. This is not going to do well, this video. This is going to be a video that's not going to get many views. But I just had to get it out. And this is where it's going. It's going to my YouTube. It's going to be in there. It's going to be hanging out. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the video if you do. I hope you've stayed this long if you did. Amazing. No one listens to my videos for more than a minute. So I'm glad that you stuck around and listened to this and sort of got to hear my side of things. Just listen to me vent. I appreciate that. So if you did enjoy the video, give it a like. If you do like this type of content, though, yeah, you can subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.